Hello, everyone. Welcome to chapter 186 on my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. It is the weekend edition. And in the weekend edition, we're going to be featuring a chainsaw. So you know it's got to be good. So if you want to see which direction this goes, all you need to do is stay tuned. Yes, it seems like everybody loves a chainsaw, but there is a practical reason why I did that little stunt at the beginning. In my shop, I've ended up in the two and a few months, years that I've been retired. I've been teaching in here way more than I thought I ever would. So the homeschool contingent in the community has been fun. We Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I've been posting some of their projects on Instagram. If you want to go look, it's just RLDR Custom Creations. Check it out. They're wonderful to work with, and it's been a lot of fun. The other thing that has happened in the shop before, but it's going to be happening again this next weekend, is the Hub City Turners are coming out here, and I'm hosting a class. I'm not teaching it. Well, I might help a little bit, but it's important in a class that there's only one instructor. So that's my role is technical support, and the class is being taught by Trent Watts. Trent is a wonderful instructor, and I've seen some of the best in wood turning. And as far as a teacher goes, he's right up there. There is a difference between knowing what you're doing and knowing how to teach, and he knows both. So that should be a great class. So I need to make sure that my shop is ready for it. It looks like we're going to potentially have maybe 10 students here. That's the maximum that my shop can handle. And yeah, hopefully that'll be a great weekend. So the itinerary for the weekend is on Saturday, we'll be turning between centers. Trent has a couple of projects in mind. And on Sunday, it'll be bowl turning. And if my birch supplier comes through for me, which he always does, we'll have some birch trees, branches, and we'll kind of do the tree to bowl thing. So that's what the classes are going to be like. Can you learn to turn on a small jet or delta lathe? Well, of course you can. Just because you're standing beside a $10,000 lathe doesn't make you a better turner. It makes you a rich turner, but not a better turner. So anyway, with that in mind, we're going to be potentially creating turning blanks from tree parts. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I've come up with, and we'll have to change the camera view for that. Well, here it is. The part that we've all been waiting for. I built this little stand so that we could safely cut turning blanks with chainsaw. So what I did is I really had no idea what I was going to do when I started this. Last year this came up in class, and I very quickly made a makeshift one out of some scraps I had lying around in the shop here, but it wasn't decent, and it sat under my thickness planer, and I just didn't like it because it wasn't decent. So I went out and bought 3 or 4 construction studs, and I was going to film as I was doing this, but it didn't take me long to realize. At first, I had no idea what I was doing. I wasn't sure what exactly I wanted when I started, so I just kind of started cutting. So I took the 2x4s, and initially I made 2 of these X's, And the bolt is not centered, the carriage bolt. So it's about 20 inches from there to the line and 16 from here to the line. And the angle is about 32 degrees. Is that significant? No. The angle I chose and the length I chose was kind of the opening that I wanted here. And this particular setup, I would say, is not designed for larger pieces. So if you're cutting up blanks, say to turn on a big lathe, this may not work for that. This is 8-inch diameter piece there. That's perfect. I suspect 10 would work nicely as well. So this piece is designed proportional to the lathes that I have and the turning we do. So this is more for instruction, although I'll use it when I'm turning as well. Initially, I made 2 of these, and I wanted to have these boards on the inside. But if you do that, you can't do that. And that was important to me. I have no space in this shop as it is. And if I have this big fixture that I only use occasionally, that's a big problem. So rather than put wood on the inside, which didn't allow it to close, of course I had to figure that out by actually doing it, I made a third X in here. Now I was out of carriage. I only bought 2 3/8 carriage bolts. And by the way, there's a 3/8 washer and a 3/8 nylock nut on the back. But this one here I had to do yesterday evening. And all I had laying around here was a 1/4-inch carriage bolt. But it's fine. It works. And I don't think I'm going to bother changing it. The 2x4s here are attached with 3-inch screws. And what they allow is they control the amount of opening. So I don't have to put a chain across or do anything like that. And I really liked that. So that really worked good. And it's very simple. Like, just to give you some lengths here, this whole thing is 24 inches long. So I wanted it fairly compact. Now, if we had longer logs that we needed to cut, I think we could, but it is designed. I designed this with about a 3-foot log in mind, because we could probably knock those down outside, as much as I don't like going outside when it's cold in winter. In fact, yeah, so that's basically it. Just construction lumber, a few carriage bolts, and a few screws, and a little bit of used 1x4. I use a battery-powered chainsaw. Oh, the wrench fell out. I bought this. Okay, I have 2 of these actually. This is the 2nd generation Cobalt, which I don't like as much as my 1st gen, because this has an annoying habit of when you put too much pressure on it, it just quits. And then you let off the trigger, and then you squeeze it again, and away it goes. The Milwaukee that I tested a number of years ago and the Husqvarna all did the same thing. So this is an 18-inch bar. And the Cobalt saw, you'll notice it's Cobalt, but it says Greenworks on the bar. They're the same company. Well, not the same company. This is built by Greenworks for Cobalt. Bad thing about Cobalt in Canada, they pulled out, and you can no longer get support or parts for this equipment. So all my Cobalt stuff is now obsolete. So I like the 18-inch bar. It works really good. But my 1st generation saw, we used to have trees around our yard. We had 90 tower poplars. That Cobalt chainsaw took them all down. That was the saw we used to harvest or to get rid of all those trees. So anyway, I'm just going to do a quick little demo as to how this works, but I need to do some setup in order to do that. So I will be right back. Well, we're back. I'm kind of ready here, all set up, ready to go. One thing, I don't know if I explained it or not, this these two X's here are pretty close together. And what that's to accommodate is short pieces. So if I have to cut a short piece like this into like a turning blank, then I have it's a little easier to do. So yeah, this thing has worked really good. So far, I've only cut one piece with it, so we'll see how this one goes. But also with the V in the bottom here, it gives your chainsaw a little bit of clearance, so you're not cutting into your sawbuck right away. I was worried a little bit that as you cut it with the V's, it might want to pinch. But the first one I did, I had no problem. So we'll see what the second one does. My chainsaw, I just finished sharpening the blade. This is an 18-inch chainsaw. It's the biggest battery-powered chainsaw that I've seen. And this is 80-volt stuff. Yeah, Greenworks actually made this for Cobalt, but Cobalt, like I said before, no longer exists in Canada. So anyway, you know what? Enough talk. Let's get down to it. Okay, the one thing that I really like about this saw, and most chainsaws, this one has a fairly aggressive bucking spike. And that you can put against the wood and helps you control the saw a lot. So anyway, we've got full battery, and when I push it a little bit, it'll shut off. It's that safety thing, and I hate it. I wish I could find somebody that could disconnect it. But anyway, here we go. There we go. I'm sure a gas-powered saw would do that much faster, but I'm retired. Oh, look at that stuff, eh? This is going to be a really nice piece to turn. But like I said, I'm retired. I got nothing but time, apparently. That is beautiful wood. This was brought over for a class last year, and I put the Lee Valley end treatment on the ends of the log, and it sat by my sander here for almost a year. So I guess maybe that's how you get things to spalt. You just forget about them. Anyway, that kind of wraps this up. Maybe get a little taller here so you can see. That kind of wraps this up. I think this is going to work good, and it's going to store efficiently, which is really important to me. Are there other designs out there? Oh, for sure. And did I design this? No. This is stuff that I saw on the internet, and there's one design on there that does this as well that I saw, and I didn't look very long. And in fact, I don't think I went to any turning sites, so maybe there is something there that's way better that I didn't see. But this is going to work for me. It's going to be fine. In 2x4, it probably cost me about 20 bucks Canadian. But yeah, it's working good, and I like my saw. And yeah, you know, the difference is this one I cut through, the saw didn't shut off once. The one I did yesterday, the saw paused a couple of times. And the difference between yesterday and today is a sharp blade. So make sure your chainsaw is sharp. So anyway, that wraps up this video for today. I hope you learned a little bit. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. And yeah, we'll see you probably middle of next week. Take care.